at the core, there are only two main paths, right-hand path and the left-hand path, because the middle path is a mix of these two. So each path has multiple customs and progressive stages, which I will talk about in a separate video. However, let's understand the basic difference between these two paths. So first, the right-hand path. On this path, practices are more orthodox, follows moral codes, uses conventionally defined pure objects, and emphasizes austerity, rituals, and devotion. Yoga and meditation is also used. It includes practices of worshipping deities, the use of yantra, mandala, and going to pilgrimage. These practices may be elaborate and sometimes complicated. This path condemns the use of liquor, meat, fish, and sexual union. It is called a sattvic path, and in general, it encourages only those practices that do not violate the principle of purity and conventional morality. This path is easy to begin, and it is said that it is a path of devotion, integration, and peace. This path aims for freedom or liberation, called mukti. Right-hand path practices are safer but slower and done in a progressive order. These practices are fairly acceptable in most of society, although there are two big challenges. First, it is hard to find a genuine and qualified teacher, and if you found it, then the biggest challenge is our laziness. In the West, it is also referred as white tantra. So now, left-hand path. This is unorthodox path in which there is no distinction between pure and impure. Therefore, this path is not for everyone. Some of the rituals are not attractive at all or even accessible to common people, as it may appear to be against the accepted norms or ethics of society. Though the path emphasizes on moderation, one of the rituals called panchamakara, that emphasizes using wine, meat, fish, parched grain, and sexual intercourse, or called mathuna, and it's all done for transcendence. The sexual union is famously known as tantric sex in the Western world and on the internet. However, the sex ritual is just one of the many practices of the left-hand path. It is also known as red tantra in the West, and for many this is the misunderstood definition of tantra, especially in the West. On the other side, many practitioners strive to attain siddhis or spiritual powers using all possible means, including forbidden ones, which are part of magic practices. And if a practice utilizes the power for negative or wrong purpose, they are called black magic, or also called black tantra. And this is the misunderstood impression of tantra for many in India today. The use of power for wrong purposes is forbidden because it is against the law of nature. However, some powers are used for good cause, and that is called white magic and can be associated with white tantra. The left-hand path is also called the path of ecstasy, which emphasizes and aims for fulfilling the worldly desires, enjoyment, and pleasure. This path is also known as the path of warriors because they dare to undertake any practice which will expedite the spiritual progress and have accomplishment or siddhi. So the risk and difficulties are very high on this path. The teachers of left-hand path are very, very rare to find. And if you find one, usually they will deny your request for several times. They test the seriousness of the student because only very few can truly walk on this razor-sharp path. which has many pitfalls, as you can easily fall in the trap of enjoying the pleasure or powers than advancing on this path. This is a risky path, so it is not for everyone, but it is considered the fastest path to enlightenment. Lastly, let's see the different levels of these two paths. Each path has 3 different levels: beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Generally, level 1 of the right hand path is also the foundation for the left hand path. Once this foundation is established, a student may become eligible to either move on to the level 2 on the right hand path or level 1 on the left hand path. The higher levels on the right hand path gradually start to go from external to internal practices. However, on the left hand path, in level 1, the preparation of the body and mind starts, and it is emphasized because it is a warrior path. Only a qualified teacher guides the student to the next level, and finally he or she becomes a Siddha, Bhairava, or a Bhairavi. Here, the Kalai school includes all the left hand path along with the level 1 on the right hand path. So the Misrai school is at level 2 on the right hand path, and it's called the middle path, which is the most practical, where most people belong there. But Samyai school is level 3 on the right hand path, but it requires some effort to get there. So this was my summary of all the major paths of Tantra. In my next video, I will cover the main practices used on these paths, including the controversial ones. So thank you for watching. Thank you so much for listening. If you like the information, please subscribe, like, and share so that everyone else can also enjoy this.